Hello everybody, this is my Peterson Academy education. This is Jazz here, and we're going to talk about the third lecture of Intro to Nietzsche. Nietzsche! So yeah, it took me a while to get to this because there's a lot to unpack. Kind of nervous about it. I wanted to make sure this was a good video. I want to make sure that my videos are getting at least just a little bit better each time. But this one I had a tough one with. So, alright, so let's get into it. So first they start talking about beyond good and evil. That's mainly what this lecture is about, among like questioning truth and like the wills of truth in you that guide you towards truth and truth stuff. All sorts of truths. Anyway, yeah. So Beyond Good and Evil is a comprehensive one of Nietzsche's more comprehensive works. You know, I guess I talked about this stuff in the other videos, so I'm gonna try and breeze through it. He talked about Ambrose Bierce being an irony, and talked about the way Nietzsche writes. So Nietzsche was a aphoristic, imagistic, and poetic thinker, and he stands on the border between semantic differentiation and romantic expression. So semantic being of language and logic, and differentiation being recognizing what makes things different. You know, that's literally that's not just me making it up. You know, that's what it said in Google. And romantic expression, we know what that means. And then it starts off with another thing called the prejudice of philosophers. That's a part of Nietzsche's book, and talks about Nietzsche's interest lies in the unspoken presuppositions in an argument, the preconditions. So like the things in an argument that you take for granted. You know, like when you're arguing with somebody, you're not arguing about other stuff. It's just that argument. You're not arguing about the other issues you guys have or whatever. It's just the one thing. At least that's how it should be anyway. And then the complexity of the world is hidden in your argument's axioms. So the things you and Nietzsche finds that the axioms of your philosophy hide in your argument's axioms. They're more in there than anything. The philosophy lay more in those unspoken axioms than the arguments themselves. That's what it is. And then and we hold these truths to be, and I talked about the what's it called? The Constitution, the U.S. Constitution. My brother down south, you know, because I'm in Canada, so. In their Constitution, they have a thing that says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident," and then the Constitution is after that, you know, or the stuff in the Constitution is after that. So it's basically like those are the axioms of the Constitution are all the different things in it. You know, we hold in the Constitution is the axiom of the United States, the unquestionable truths that you don't argue about. You can argue within those axioms, but those are the ones you don't really bother with because like that's true. Don't worry about that. We don't want to think about that anymore, which makes sense. And then he talks about he goes on with like after that they go on about like the axioms of arguments and like what really creates what really deems truth true. You know, everyone has a different truth and everything, and philosophers have different truths, and their truths are guided by their will to truth, which is like it's looking for the truest things, I guess you could say. And let's see what we have here. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Line of the Constitution states that it is the axiom of the USA. I already said that. What does what you deem to be self-evident true serve? Like your truth is self-evident, obviously, because you think it's true. But what does that serve? They talk about again the spirit of philosophers and everything, and how they look for truth, but it's really hard to say like what exactly they're looking for. You know, if you were really to think about it. And Nietzsche says, "Is there a will that philosophers serve unconsciously?" You know, and a lot of times it's hard to tell that stuff. And postmodernists, they say where Jordan Peterson is the postmodernist tilt towards Marxism, so like totalitarianism, and they like to boil things down. You probably see it in, like nowadays, boil things down to like power struggles, like hierarchies and all this stuff, where it's like no matter what you do, like things are for just the pursuit of power, which is kind of a simple way to put things, I guess. And and then he turns out something else that's really interesting that I liked was psychopathy and narcissism. He talks about that, like serving like when you live in truth or whatever, it's like you try and help people, and we'll get into that anyway. So first note I got here is psychopathic and narcissistic tendencies are not self-serving. So we'll go to page 29 of my notes, because that's what I have in my notes on my notes here. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Oh wait. Oh yeah, the chimp thing. I want to talk about the chimp thing. So, chimpanzee patriarchs that use psychopathic domination as their route to reproductive success. They aren't successful in the medium to long term. With short, brutal rules, they get destroyed by their opponents. So these chimpanzees just like destroy all their enemies and stuff, and like take all the ladies, have all the babies. But then eventually they, you piss off enough monkeys, and like 2 or 3 monkeys will come and eat you. No matter if you're the strongest monkey. Strong monkey. And then the other guys are like, and then like, oh no, there's too many. Not enough bananas to go around. Sorry. I tried, Anyway. Yeah. Monkeys. And and they aren't successful. And Jordan Peterson talks about how it's way better in your life to treat people as good as you can. And there's where's that one line that I really liked? Maybe we'll get to it, but it's a really nice line that I like. So we'll look at we got the chimpanzees and notorious unable to learn from. And narcissists and psychopaths, they're notoriously unable to learn from their experiences because they don't know they're wrong when they do stuff that's wrong. That's my take from it anyway. It's like if you could only blame everyone else for your problems, like why would you even bother self-reflecting in the first place? Like you wouldn't bother. And let's see. And not caring about tomorrow is narrowly and impossibly self-serving. And you across time is a community. I like this one a lot because it talks about like the different stages of your life being different people. Because I guess in your life you are different people. Like I feel like every couple of years I'm like a different person. Not that I'm better or anything, just so like my life changes and I change and my situation changes. Anyway, across time is a community of many people that you have to serve in the right way, meaning like your life across time. Serving that whole community would be indistinguishable from acting in the best interest of the people around you. So like not only you, but your community and everything. Treat your neighbors as you would want to be treated. There's a natural constraint on the structure of moral interactions that's a consequence of extension across time and situation. So yeah, you can't, I guess what it's saying is, if you're just a butthole, the whole time, people aren't going to like you, so you're not going to have a lot of friends, and then you won't be able to interact with people properly, and then when that gets really important, when you get older, and people get more important to you, hopefully, they should, you won't be able to deal with that. And then this is all my take in anyway, because I've learned to take care of people and respect people and cherish people you have, because they go away, man. Pretty sad. And he talks about this. There's nothing that we value more than our reputation, which is pretty cool. Which makes sense, because if you think about the whole like treating your community and stuff, like people will gravitate towards you. People will gravitate towards you. What I meant to say. And if you're not a good person, I guess obviously people want to get away from you. And then even if you want to change your life at that point, it's like no one likes me. It's like, So like you want to make sure you treat people nice. You know what I mean? So let's see what it says in that. So there's nothing more valuable than your reputation. If you can signal that you can offer a fair deal, and that you can accept one. People can note that you play fair, and and can play and trade with you fairly. Additionally, you could air the game in your friend's favor, signaling that you can be played with and that people should play with you. You know, like yeah, like give someone like a follow or something when you rate their riddles, when they guess your riddles. I mean, I guess that was my part, when I was writing that riddle thing online. I want to see how long ago, and yeah, I didn't get anything from that. I just wanted to like see if people liked it or not. So yeah, and yeah, well, maybe we'll do an update video on the riddle thing because I got a new riddle for the Jordan Peterson, the Jordan Peterson Academy. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. Ooh, I lost my notes. I don't know why I just closed my book. Now I'm lost. Okay, let me figure it out. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Community, blah, blah, blah. Citations, necessity, Plato. Nope. I went through that. Well, let's go to my back page here. I have a short form of everything. Okay, we're back. We're back, boys. We're back. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and again with the thing that he says about being good to people and playing a fair game, and you give to give. So you don't give for any reason. Like, I know you might want to start a new lifestyle because you want people to do better to you, but I guess it's kind of an oxymoron kind of thing, where it's like if you're just good because you want people to be good to you, that's kind of like weird. Does that make sense? Am I right? Should you be good just so people can be good to you, or I guess be good because like you want to be a good person, and maybe that spreads out. Maybe it's a complicated thing, And if you give just to get, giving just to get is bad because that's manipulating, Okay, so let's go to page 30 of my notes. Let's see what that's on, because I have to go over here. Virtues. Virtues are really cool. So you want to live your life on a set of virtues, and Jason talks about Jordan Peterson. He talks about virtue. What was it? Beauty, truth, and justice. That's the one. The ones. And he talks about how virtue is a weapon. So there's no difference between a virtue and a weapon. So you gotta get that the truth and beauty in your hand like a Glock 19. I don't know guns. I don't know anything about guns, but is Glock 19 the type of gun? Anyway, I don't know, maybe Glock 20? That sounds more realistic. I made that up probably. Anyway. Yeah, so virtues are like weapons because you can shield yourself from the world with them. And so virtues: conformity to a standard of right. Number 2, beneficial quality or power of a thing, a capacity to act, and not just dangerous, not just do-gooders, nothings. So it's not just something that you do just because someone tells you it's good. I guess it gets back to the whole truth and finding the axioms of your truth and everything, and make sure those serve you well and are redemptive and healing. So the eternal verities again: beauty, truth, and justice, allies of true virtue, and truth is your best friend in crisis, reality on your side. So, and then he talks about lying. So you lie to gain short-term advantage, hoping it will be successful enough for you so you can go on the advantage without cost. So you don't have to. So it's like you can gain the advantage without cost. I can not read my notes. I gotta get better writing, guys. I mean, like, I'm trying to write fast, but like it's like a kindergartner. Like, darn. But yeah, I'm literally like, pause the video. I'm going nuts over here. So yeah, I'm just trying to get in my brain. So lies will always eventually snap back, and worse. Jordan Peterson talks about how he's in as a practicing clinician, and talking to all the people that he's talked to. He's never excuse me, it's hot in my room. It's a little sweaty here. He's never seen lying work in a good way, which is a big sign, because like I'm sure I haven't talked to as many people as Jordan Peterson's talked to, so he probably knows what he's talking about. All right, so now that we've gone from lies, so we'll talk about more about the Nietzsche's book and what Jordan Peterson said is like reading it is like. So reading Beyond Good and Evil, something in the writing jumps out at you. So a lot of the times for me too is like that. Like there's a lot of little parts that just I don't really understand, and then some of them like come right out at you, and then you remember them for a long time. Like one of them that I remember is probably not getting it exactly, but if you want someone to like you, you embarrass yourself in front of them. Which is like a little thing, but like it is like a I don't know, for some reason that just clicked with me. You know, like kind of the way I see it is like you don't really instead of like showing someone how awesome you are, being like, yo, it's me, I'm a gangster and a prankster, and then everybody thinks I stink-ster. I don't know. Like instead of like announcing yourself as this cool dude, you you be honest with people, and you be vulnerable with people, and maybe that you make a fool of yourself, but then that gives people a chance to like also be vulnerable, or like take down their barriers from you, because you're not this imposing thing. You're like this little like, oh, look at this guy. He's a bit odd, but I like him. You know, people like that. People you know like that are a lot nicer to talk to. Okay, so anyway, I keep losing myself. Sorry, there's a lot I gotta put in here. Reading Beyond Good and Evil, something the writing jumps out at you and you think, why does this capture my interest? We went to that one. You cannot choose what will call to you, but what is beckoning to you. If you attend to things that beckon to you, you will follow it to the depths of your destiny. Which is pretty cool, like not hesitating and just going for things, you know. Like for me, like today this video is really like a lot harder. For some reason, it's a lot harder to record than my other videos. I was feeling weird yesterday, but today I made sure that I was gonna do it, even though it's 25 degrees and my room does not get AC. So that's okay. You know, we're rocking it. We're almost done actually. How much time we got here? Ooh, 17 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna finish up some stuff. Okay, so if you attend to things that beckon to you, you will follow it to the depths of your destiny. What compels you to act often comes in the form of a problem. So, and then we're gonna go to, yeah, I like that a lot. You know, like it's really like you really think about how you need problems in your life, you know, to make you who you are. You know, and then and then he goes on to read this quote that he has here, and I'm gonna try and just read it and give quick things to it. So it's about the will to truth and what calls us to truth anyway. The will to truth will still tempt us to a many adventure. That famous truthfulness of which all philosophers so far have spoken. With respect, what questions has this will to truth not laid before us? You know, as again Nietzsche is talking about the things we don't ask, hidden in the things we do ask, in the arguments we have. And the next part of it is, what strange, wicked, questionable questions. That is a long story even now, and yet it seems as if it had scarcely begun. Because people have been looking for truth forever, you know, forever. So I guess that's part of it, you know, that really is. And we'll go to the next quote of it, the quote inside the quote. That we should finally learn from the Sphinx to ask questions to. The Sphinx poses a fundamental question of life. What goes on 4 legs in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 legs in the evening? And the answer is man. I guess because it's like you're a baby, so you have 4 legs, or you have 4 limbs that you're like me crawling on, and then 2 legs in the afternoon. So in the middle of your life, you're walking around all cool, like a man with a job, or a lady with a job, or a baby, or an adult with a baby, not still a baby. And then 3 legs in the evening mean like an old man with a cane. Like mortality, I guess, is what they're saying. And the Sphinx is basically saying we have mortality. So we'll go back to the Nietzsche quote. who is it really that puts questions to us here? What in us really wants truth? You know, like that's the main thing that Nietzsche was looking for, I guess, trying to explore. You know, and yeah, I think I'll. After that, he goes into some like stuff about depression and Shelley Taylor's research, which she was talking about how it's like not really postmodernist thing. It's like stuff. It's like 2000s like therapy. People are going saying that like people are happier when they ignore how the world actually is, and how depressed people are actually like more realist. Which I don't like that. It's like, gross. That was the time we lived in. That's lame. Man, like what if that was like what made it through to now? Like what if Jordan Peterson was like sitting around like, you don't want to look at the world. The presuppositions of the world are wrong. The reality's wrong. It was Nietzsche who could shut the fuck up. You know, like no thanks. All right, well, yeah. So that was my take on lecture 3. Among other things, there was a lot to read. I had 12 pages of notes, and like, this is what they look like. Like, it's too much. I gotta filter this down. Gotta filter it down. So I don't really like this video, but I appreciate if you guys will watch anyway, cause like, this is my thing. This is my daily thing. You know, let's see if we can make it better. You know, I hope I get better at this. All right, thanks guys. Bye.